Career Mode is saved. Part 2 of a series chronicling the life and times of EA's bold strategy of attempting to improve career mode by ruining my childhood. A video essay by a fat, yet less angry Asian. Welcome back. It's been a long week. If you haven't watched part 1, go ahead and click up on I think it's over here, and that'll get you up to speed on the sampler platter of ways that EA had broken career mode at the launch of FIFA 20. Or maybe it was all working as intended, and these were just surprise mechanics. Your words, EA, not mine. Yeah, it was a complete horror show. A dumpster fire was a pretty accurate way to describe the state of career mode that it's still in right now. But in this video, I am going to make a bold proclamation. I'm going to give you a way that we can actually save career mode in FIFA 20 without relying on EA, because let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, we're not EA's priority. Not by a long shot. Just look at the latest patch, man. The notes, miles and miles of notes for FUT. There's a crap ton for Volta. There's 20 bajillion things that are broken with career mode. Is there anything on career mode? Oh, we're in there. We're in there. Oh, this one dot here, it says solved congested fixtures in the second division of Italy. We did it, guys. We complained and they listened. Thank you, EA. Thank you. Video over. Yeah, seriously, that's all they wrote. Miles and miles of Volta updates, a game mode that no one's playing. I haven't seen anybody say anything about Volta at all. It's like radio silence out there. You know, a lot of people talk shit about the journey, but at least people played it. At least I heard people complain about it. Volta's like Anne Frank out here, man. Not a peep. Reskinning FIFA Street and not letting you play online with your friends? Really? You don't say. Thought that would be a big hit, huh? Yep. Here it is, getting a ton of fixes. And what does career mode get? A single dot. Bruh. Listen, yeah, you can lie all you want, okay? But your actions speak louder than your words. And it speaks very, very clearly how you feel about us. And that is, you do not give two shits. Literally, not even two. Just one little shitty dot for Calcio B. Who is playing with Calcio B teams? Like, was that really a major factor affecting the majority of players? It affected all the leagues. That has been an issue for 3 years. But I guess baby steps. We will start with the Calcio B, and then we'll move on. And this way, we'll get to the Premier League by June. Calcio B, that's like bizarre. It was almost like a passive aggressive thing of just like, you guys complained about a lot of stuff. So here we fixed one thing. And here's another article. It basically says, and we've seen EA Core respond to a lot of things saying that they are completely aware and they want to be transparent with us that nothing is coming. I'm sorry, I like you, Corey. And it's good to have a dialogue. It's good to know that you guys are aware of the situation, but hearing that nothing is coming, you're not going to get a good response out of it. It's to be expected. I think you expect it too. And as of the release of this video, there is no timetable on when they actually will affect this stuff. I get it, you know, it's the first patch. I don't know how you didn't know that these were going to be major issues, and you were probably working on this initial patch even before the game was released. Will you be working on career mode fixes in the next patch? Who knows? Probably not, because as of today, as I was recording this, you guys ran into a brand new issue of where they apparently leaked everyone's info if you had actually registered to play in Weekend League. So I would imagine that they're probably scrambling all of their resources to go ahead and patch that shit immediately, because that is their highest priority. Ultimate Team is always going to be their top priority, and that is the theme of today's video, guys. We need to stop relying on people who just don't see us as a priority. Be it in life or sports simulation games, if you are in a relationship in which the other person does not treat you as a high priority, get the fuck out. Because that's what we have become to EA. Career mode is the side chick of FIFA. I mean, they say that they love us, and you know, we just gotta stay patient because they're gonna show how much they care about us, but we know they're never gonna leave Ultimate Team. I mean, come on, let's be realistic here, guys. They never leaving that ugly bitch. Never gonna leave her. So what do we do then? EA are the ones who make the games. They're the only ones who can fix it. The only alternative is PES and Listen, I wish PES Master League was better, but let's be real here. If it was better, we'd all be playing it. And EA know this. They know they're the only real shop in town. So if they don't have any real competition, they know that they can put in a piss poor effort year after year after year, because what else are we going to do? They just present us with this platter of dog shit and say, take it or leave it. Will you be eating the dog shit or will you be leaving the dog shit? We don't care. We have Ultimate Team. And each year we just eat the dog shit and we're like, oh, this sucks. But it's better than nothing. Because the sick reality is that a single Ultimate Team customer can be worth 1,000 times more than a single career mode customer. You gotta look at it from the perspective of EA. If EA was a stripper and I walked up into the club and I paid the door charge, right? But I'm not throwing any money on the stage, is the stripper gonna pay attention to me? Or is it gonna pay attention to the guy who's throwing $5,000 on the stage, making it rain? No, the stripper is gonna be giving lap dances to the guy who's throwing thousands of dollars on the stage. I would too. And I could stand over here and just complain and complain. It's like, why don't I pay the charge to get in? Why aren't you paying more attention to me? And that's the issue. EA has the loyalty of a stripper. Wherever the money's coming in, that's where they're gonna go. And unless that changes somehow, unless they start monetizing career mode, this is how career mode is going to be treated for the rest of our lives, as an afterthought. And ultimately, that's how we got FIFA 20 career mode. The most half-assed, beta stage, broken piece of shit game mode yet. And there has been a huge outpouring of hate. Young Yeah covered this issue. Joel Embiid's asking them to freaking fix it. What's the rating right now on Metacritic? If this ain't the most corrupt bullshit ever, look at this shit. The Metascore for FIFA 20 is 79. That's what critics have given it. The user score is 1.2. Motherfucker, how much money does EA have? How much money, EA, did you bribe these poor sucker game review companies, man? Game Journal was a fucking joke, but we bombed the shit out of that. Over 1,000 reviews. I wonder how many of those were career mode people. And all this hate is well warranted, but here's the issue, guys. Do you think the suits at EA care? Because let me remind you, this is the company that went full Drake. They went back-to-back years, earning the title of worst company in America. Yeah, they cared so much about their reputation, they won it a second time. They left no doubt. And with this whole fiasco of people's information just getting leaked for Weekend League, when do you think that they're gonna find time or resources to actually fix any of these career mode issues quickly? That's a great question. Vote up in the eye thingies right now, ladies and gentlemen. When do you think the majority of these career mode fixes will get in? Your choices are A, next week, B, Black Friday, C, Christmas, or D, FIFA 21. I'm realistically betting Christmas. I'm fairly confident they'll get a lot of it by Christmas, I hope. Now, I know I painted a pretty depressing picture of the current state of FIFA career mode and our future prospects, but what if I told you that we could actually change all of that? What if I told you there was a way that we could patch the game without EA? Would you like that? Well, little Timmy, hold on to your little nutsack, because in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how we do that. Not just for FIFA 20, but hopefully for every FIFA moving forward. So please, like and share this video, and get it out to as many career mode fans out there, because my hope is that we start a movement where we can become independent of EA, and we take career mode back for our community. So what am I talking about? How can we patch career mode without EA? Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the wonderful world of mods. Yes, I know. The overwhelming amount of people who play career mode play it on console. I understand that. But before you click out this video, at least let me show you what can be done on PC, and then you can go ahead and make your judgments on this. And I would venture to say, aren't you a little bit curious to see the full vision of what career mode can be? And for you guys who don't have a PC and might have the money, I'm gonna showcase to you why it's worth the investment. And for you guys who are not going to move away from console, you'll still want to hear what I have to say, because what we have been able to accomplish in 1 week is going to completely humiliate EA Sports. Because this is the big bombshell I'm going to drop on you. All the big issues that I discussed in the previous video, all the big issues that we have career mode at launch, the AI constantly running their second team, unrealistic simulation tables, constantly getting fired for contract negotiations, player morale, or release clauses despite being on top of the league or playing on beginner. Not exaggerating, a lot of the stuff actually happened to me. All these major game-breaking issues, we fixed all that. Let me restate that because I didn't stutter. I'm not missaying that. All the major issues that plagued the launch of FIFA 20 career mode, a small team of modders were able to fix in under a week. A fucking week. Not weeks plural, not month, not months, not years. In a single week, this small team of amazing modders were able to do more than a multi-billion-dollar company. The only issues that we weren't able to fix immediately are the congested fixtures, which apparently EA are on, but even that we have some type of workaround. And there was that weird glitch in which if you edit your players, it would mess up their positioning stuff. But we're working on that as well. It took a team of 3 people to fix the majority of these issues. And that should tell you how high on the priority list that EA have career mode. So how was this possible? How did we fix career mode this quickly? Well, let me introduce you to the mod god himself, the Fifer. Go ahead, subscribe to his channel up in the iThings, and follow him on Twitter at Fifer_mods. But let me take you through the single mod that fixes the majority of major issues in career mode, and honestly, you are not going to believe it. First off, as you can see, I have it running right now on FIFA 20, and you can see something interesting on the screen. Is there anything that seems a little bit different than the base FIFA that we got? All right, so it's not perfect. As you can see, we still have Piedmonte, Calcio, Cowdick, or whatever it is, but we got it back. Juventus is back in the game, boys, and you can see that we have the proper kits as well. And I think that is a lovely introduction because this mod is referred to as the Realism mod. And let's just hop into a career mode, and I am going to run a simulation. I'm just going to run it to the end of the season. I'm going to start that up. We're going to go to June 1st, and we're going to have that run in the background. At the end of this video, we can see like the end of the table and all that other stuff. And as the simulation runs in the background, I want to run you guys through a lot of the features that you will receive in the Realism mod. Now, first off, you may notice it's not that fancy. It's just a Google Doc. We don't have a very high budget here. We can't make it look as nice as EA's pitch notes, but let's be honest, what would you rather have? Fancy pitch notes or a career mode that works? But let's start with the biggest complaint in my previous video was just how freaking sack happy the board is and all that BS. The section labeled realistic sacking and board. The board is now less ruthless and won't sack you as easily, still more often sacking than FIFA 19. The League and European Cup are now more important than the Domestic Cup, morale, and other things in terms of manager score and sacking. And here are the big ones. Having a few players with bad morale will no longer get you sacked. Holly fucking Luya. Stupid things like offering a release clause that's too high, etc. will no longer get you sacked in the moment, and basically made it a lot more realistic on when and how you should be sacked by using a little thing called common sense. The next big issue that we went to was player morale and just how a giant tedious pain in the ass it was to keep everyone on your team happy, especially if you had a big squad. And for this, the Fifer did a complete redesign. Listen to this. Only players in and around the starting 11 will get unhappy if they aren't playing most of the games, and will try to force a move away if you don't give them more game time. Bench players will be happy with a few starts and minutes off of the bench. Reserve players will be happy with just a start or two a season and maybe a few minutes off the bench. How a player morale is calculated is more realistic based on personality. If they are a team player, team performances will be much more important than game time, player performance, and contract happiness. And the opposite is for a selfish player. Importantly, it gives variety, it gives personality to players, and it just feels so much more immersive. And that is the key for a career mode, to feel immersed, to feel like you're actually a manager for your club. And it's just mind-bogglingly scary how much better career mode can be when it's made by someone who actually plays career mode and not some out-of-touch corporate suit who probably doesn't play a video game besides Candy Crush on his phone. And then there's the biggest issue that everyone has been complaining about, probably the #1 issue that is plaguing career mode at the start of FIFA 20. And that, of course, is the AI team selection and the unrealistic tables. We've seen the horror shows, man, the team selections of just top teams like Manchester City, Liverpool running out their second team, and crazy tables where Man City is relegated in the first season, breaking once again the biggest thing that you want in a football simulation: immersion. And you know what? In less than a week, the Fifer has also sorted this out. These are the new features that the Realism mod adds. The AI now puts their best 11 in most matches, especially big matches, but in games against smaller teams, in low important games, i.e. FA Cup first round, or games that are 2 to 4 days before a big game, they will rotate and put out a weaker 11. Smart. Players in form will get picked more often, even if their overall isn't great, won't always start, okay, because that could sound a little bit sketch, but sometimes they will make the bench. Teams will now win the league with 90 points, which is closer to reality. Teams will now get relegated at around 20 points. Positions are more realistic, i.e. the top 6 in the Prem is normally the top 6 now. Goal scorers are more realistic as well. Kane and Sterling, etc. will win the Golden Boot, not Vardy. I mean, shots at Vardy there, but I guess more realistic, as well as top assisters, yellow cards, and red cards are all more realistic. So realize this, not only did he fix the table and team selections, he programmed it so it actually works better than how it was originally programmed to be. And what's nuts is this is only the major issues. What I've currently just talked about, it only makes up probably 10% of the total corrections that is in the Realism mod. So effectively within a week, this guy, the Fifer, along with a couple other legends in the modding community, were able to deliver the career mode that EA had originally promised to us, and more. Because additionally to fixing a lot of career mode's issues, the Fifer is actually going to be bringing new additional features to career mode throughout FIFA 20. You will now be able to train stats like composure, like aggression, stats previously that we were not able to train, and also a feature that we've been asking for years. He also brought back the ability to request funds. You remember when we used to be able to do that? And you can also look at the old table, which actually displayed goal differential instead of the new one where you have to do math. Come on, man. I'm Asian, but you know, there are times when I don't want to do math. And all of these are a welcome return, but he is not done yet, because this is the one that I'm most excited about. But he has promised that in a couple weeks time, he will be bringing out a mod that will bring all of the icons, all of the goddamn icons that you can get in Ultimate Team, they will be made available for you to play with in career mode. So yes, you can finally live out your dream of seeing Ronaldinho run down the wing at Manchester United, or have Zidane pull the strings in Liverpool's midfield. And yes, this stuff is tested. It works because all this worked in FIFA 19. And if we're being real, FIFA 20 is not that different. And we have a few mods that might come in future, including some national teams like Croatia getting back in there, China getting in there, and of course getting Juventus completely back into the game. Ta-ta, Piedmont Calcio. Ta-ta. And through the hard work of people like the Fifer and others like him, like Aeronoctu and Galaxyman, shout outs to you guys. All of this is going to be coming live to FIFA 20 in about a week's time. And once this does go live, they're going to be coming out with new features throughout the entirety of the FIFA 20 lifecycle. And this is where I need your guys' help. Right now, they're just a small team doing this nearly for free. Well, except Aeronoctu, he has a pretty good Patreon. But all these mods that I've talked about, they're going to be completely free and open to the general public. But I want them to grow and expand their team and honestly be rewarded for something that EA couldn't even deliver to us, making career mode fun to play again. We as a community have been giving our money year after year to this company that has just been shitting out a half-assed product. Why not instead subscribe to the Fiverr's Patreon? Give your money to someone who actually sees you as a priority, someone who will work for you and listen to improve the game mode that you care about the most. The starting pledge is $2 a month, and that is a small price to pay to reward the people who actually fixed career mode. And for full transparency, I'm getting zero cut of any of this. This is going 100% to the modders. They're the true heroes here. I'm just the messenger, and I want that to be out there so you know that I'm not trying to just sell you on something. I gain no financial benefit from this. My goal simply is that I want what is best for the career mode community. And what I truly believe is the best for the future of the career mode community is to find more people like the Fifer, to build a bigger team, to make it financially viable for these people to dedicate hours and hours of time to improving the game mode that we love. Ask yourself, would you pay $2 a month to EA if that meant that career mode would be frequently updated with new features throughout the FIFA 20 lifecycle? To have patches come out in weeks instead of months. And for the small price of a candy bar a month, you will have early access to the best version of career mode ever made. And the best part of all, none of this money goes to EA. And this is reaching out to people in the audience right here. If you're a tech-savvy individual and you have a passion for modding, you have a passion for career mode, reach out to the Fifer. Once again, it's at Fifer_mods on Twitter. And honestly, I just want this thing to be huge so that we can show EA that we actually matter. Let's show EA how big the career mode community really is. And if it becomes something large enough, maybe they'll actually pay attention to us. Possibly bring on some of these features into their new iteration, or possibly bring on some of these team members to work on future titles. This is me spitballing, but it has happened before in the Ultimate Team community, so there's an outside possibility that it could happen. And if they don't, fuck them. We don't really need them anymore. They can churn out whatever crap that they want every single year. The modders will be here to fix it. No matter how hard they try, advertently or inadvertently, to kill career mode, we will be here to clean up their mess. And just to showcase to you that it's up, it's running, I'm not trying to BS you, right here you can see that we're in June 1st of 2020. The end of the season, if we can go ahead, take a look at the standings, let's look at the table. All right, pretty realistic. Juventus is on top, Inter is in second place, Lazio, Milan. We look at who is relegated. Yeah, there's no Inter or AC Milan down here. And we took a look at the player stats. It's Lukaku who's on top, Piatek's in second, Ronaldo's in third, Immobile in fourth, Mertens, a lot of the big names are in the top 10. And just as further proof, I send this time as Manchester United in the Premier League to the end of the season. And you see that we finished in sixth, which is a little bit high, maybe not that realistic. But the top of the table is fairly realistic. Manchester City win it with 104 points, Spurs in second place, Liverpool in third, Chelsea in fourth above Arsenal, interesting, with Southampton, Sheffield United, and Watford being relegated. Acceptable. We go to player stats. All right, this is a little bit of a stretch. Eriksen winning Goal scorer with 34 goals, a little bit high, but Aguero and Kane are right behind him. And then you got the likes of Mane and Roberto Firmino in the top 5. So fairly realistic, a lot more realistic than we're usually seeing. And to showcase that the team selection bug is fixed, let's go into a big matchup, the Manchester Derby. All right, and here we go. Let's see the faces that are coming out. KDB, I'm seeing. Ederson. It's looking promising so far. All right, show it to me. Ederson in net is looking good. Cancelo, Boateng, and Laporte, and Gulam. Okay, so they bought some players, but at least they're good players. David Silva, Rodri, and De Bruyne in midfield. Show me Sterling. Okay, no. Oh, there he is. Sterling, Aguero, Bernardo Silva. It is so sad that I'm celebrating this. The game is working as intended. Yay. Well, there you go. Less than a week. We fixed a lot of the bullshit. And for those without a PC, I know, it's a very steep investment to go ahead and actually buy another essential game console or something that's worth 2 game consoles in order to play just career mode. But for you guys who do have the capital, or if you guys want to save up, I'm going to leave in the description the cheapest rigs that you can buy to run FIFA 20 on. Also, if you are a bit tech savvy, you can save quite a bit if you buy the parts by themselves and put it together. I know that's very daunting, but the computer that I'm using all of this and running FIFA 20 on, I built myself, and that was the very first computer I ever built, and I did it all by following YouTube tutorials. It wasn't easy, but I did it. And if you were really scraping for it, but you want this to make this happen, this is the play. This is the play to make your dollar go the furthest, all right? Don't buy FIFA right now. You wait until Black Friday, and then you scoop up either the cheapest rigs or you scoop up all of those parts when they're on sale if you're going to build it yourself. And then by this time also, FIFA 20 will be on sale. Hopefully for around half off. It's usually around like $35 US, or even better, buy that shit used. So EA don't get any new money, and you take that money that would have gone to EA and you go ahead and subscribe to the Fifer, and for your $2 pledge, you will get all the newest mods and features a week ahead of the general public. And yes, once again, I have to reiterate that I understand that the price tag is very steep if you don't already have a PC, but I think it is a worthy investment. If career mode is your favorite mode, if you are a diehard career mode guy, this is the way forward, because this isn't just for FIFA 20. This is for the FIFAs to come in the future. The PC Master Race is our only safeguard against a greedy corporation who is more concerned about microtransactions than they are about gameplay features. And even if you can't afford one right now, save the entirety of the year and get one for FIFA 21, because we'll still be right here, bigger, stronger, louder, ready to clean up any mess that EA shits out next year. And guys, this is our time now. This is our moment as a community to break free of the shackles of EA. So join me, my brothers and sisters, and we, as a community, can make career mode great again. God bless you all, and God bless career mode. And the most important thing of all, down below in a pinned comment, I'm going to be leaving a link to the Fifer's Patreon. Also, a portion of all donations that go to him will be set aside for the other 2 modders as well. And as I said before, I'm not making a single dime out of any of this, but if you would like to financially support the channel, I've just began selling these Make Career Mode Great Again hats, and if you're feeling a little bit more memesy, we're also selling it in red. So please buy at your own risk and try not to get beat up. And oh my god. All right, so last second update, guys. The Fifer has just told me that they've actually fixed the player editing thing. So it's pretty much everything's fixed. And the full release of the Realism mod is either coming next week or 2 weeks. It just depends on when everything is completely ironed out. So please stay tuned to this channel, because when the Realism mod drops, I'm going to be going ahead and releasing another video where I go more into depth into that. And once again, if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to the Fifer, man. He has all the tutorials on how you can set up the Realism mod and how you can mod various ways in the PC version of FIFA. I think currently right now he's around 9,000. Let's get him to 10,000, guys. He's earned it. And if you want more FIFA content, you can go ahead and click over here, Dings Boost, and that is a previous video where I ripped EA a new one. Or if you want something a little bit more lighthearted, this is my latest FIFA 20 experiment. It's a fun one. But yeah, that is it for me, BMOnus. Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Remember, stay yourself, stay humble. Until next time, guys, stay thick.